Hi, I'm Everett Abrams, the Wizard of Wood. And today I want to talk to you about our Deck Restoration Plus Deck and Wood Stain and why you should use that on your next project. One, it's very easy to apply. You can use a brush, sprayer, pad, any way you want to. It's really easy. It goes on really easy. Just super easy product to use, very user friendly. Next, it's mildew resistant. You don't have to worry about your organic growth, your mold, mildew. It's going to keep it away. It's going to resist that. It can be applied to wet or damp wood, even dry wood. It can any scenario. This is great for scheduling, whether you're a landscaper or you have a trade where you're on a tight schedule, or whether you're a painter, whether you're a homeowner. It's not going to matter. You could actually clean your deck in the morning, wait a few minutes, get right onto it and start staining, get it all done in one day. So it's really easy as far as your scheduling. VOC compliant. You don't have to worry about anything. It's environmentally friendly. This is going to be a super easy product for you to use, and again, it's really good for the environment. It's UV resistant, so those hot sun rays, it's not going to bother it. It's going to last. It's going to hold up. Superior water beading, you'll see that as soon as you apply this and you get your first rain, you'll see how it deters the water. It's penetrating. It's different than most water base. It's actually going to go into the wood. We call it the water base that performs like an oil base, because it does. It actually goes into the wood, not like many of the other water bases today. Next, it's durable. It's going to hold up. Most, you're lucky if you get 2 years out of a lot of the products. Ours is going to last 2 to 3 years on those horizontal surfaces. And then it's real easy because the ease of maintenance is amazing. You just come back year 2, anytime after year 2, 3, before it starts to break down, you do a light cleaning and you recoat. And you never have to strip it off or do anything again, like reinvent the wheel. Very easy product to use. So now that we've done that, let me show you how we do our demo. Hi, I'm Everett Abrams, the Wizard of Wood, and today I want to talk to you about our Deck Restoration Plus Deck and Wood Stain, our Burlington Gold Tone. Now, our Burlington Gold Tone is what we call our natural tones, and most companies will use a natural, which means it's going to be the most natural, or that wet look of the wood, but with some pigmentation to it to give it some UV protection. You just wouldn't put a clear on. Clears are mostly used for inside. Used outside, there's no UV protection, so what happens is it grays right through that clear coating pretty quickly. So most of them are a natural tone. For us, our Burlington Gold is our natural tone. So low VOC compliance, being a water base, you don't have to worry about mold and mildew issues that you do with oils. It can be applied to wet or dry wood, which is what we're going to do right here in this demo. I've already pre-wet the wood, just so you can see. I'll even get it a little wet again, just to throw some more water on it. I'm going to apply the stain to the wet and the dry wood. We're going to apply a second coat. We're going to come back in a few minutes after it dries, and we'll see how it dried and how you can compare the two for the wet and the dry wood. So again, our Burlington Gold is our most natural. It's just really going to enhance the look of the wood. Basically, if this wood, as you can tell, it almost matches the wet look. And that's what we're trying to achieve with the Burlington Gold. It's just really to give it that natural wet look. Okay, and then we'll put it on the wet wood. And again, we'll come back in a few minutes after it dries. But what we recommend on this is to let it sit for about 10 to 30 minutes. And then come back with the second coat. This is a little more forgiving than oil. Oils are a wet on wet application, so after you put on your first coat, it's wet on wet. If the first coat dries, it'll repel itself. It's not forgiving oils. This is a little more forgiving. If it dries up a little and you went back over it, it's not going to be the worst thing in the world. Again, it's not an oil, so it doesn't create mold and mildew issues if it doesn't dry. So we'll just put on a second coat real quick here. Even though it hasn't been 10 minutes, we'll get a good idea of this when we come back, and you'll be able to see exactly how that dried nice and even. All right, see you in a few minutes. Hi, I'm Everett Abrams, the Wizard of Wood of Deck Restoration Plus, and this is our Deck Restoration Plus Deck and Wood Stain, our Burlington Gold Tone. The Burlington Gold Tone is our natural tone, as I just alluded to earlier, and we're coming back now to see how it dried on the wet and dry wood. So we have the wet and the dry wood, and you can tell all it is a natural look in comparison. Okay, all we want to do is just give it a little bit of tone and more of the natural tone, where that look it looked like when it was wet. And the previous showed you where this was wet and that wet look. That's what all we're enhancing. So it doesn't matter if it is pressure treated wood, if it's cedar, if it's any other type of wood, we're just using a natural to enhance that wet look of the wood. That's the way you want to look at it. So that's our Burlington Gold natural tone.